Fantastic 4 watch by Fossil. Produced in an absolutely tiny batch of just 804 units across the world. Super rare. And the only way to get one now is by paying literally 5 times the retail price. And the cool thing about this is it is designed as a replica of the wrist computer actually worn by Mr. Fantastic. I'll say this, they've absolutely nailed the retro future vibe that the movie had. Because it's showing the analog time down here, where you can see the seconds ticking along, but then also digital up top. Although, would it have killed them to add a backlight? No human torch. The materials are fantastic.
Say that again?
Genuine leather straps, stainless steel, fully waterproof body. But what outfit do you wear to match with this, apart from body-tight Lycra? I'd say C tier. It's got to get better than this. Now, while I can't say I spent a massive amount of time reading or watching Fantastic Four growing up, what I did is absolutely play the hell out of the early Assassin's Creed games. So it's pretty crazy to me that there is now a speaker designed after an Apple of Eden, one of the legendary orbs that the Assassins and the Templars were always fighting over in this world. And it's a very fitting collab, because in Assassin's Creed, these apples are incredibly rare and sought after. Same is true in real life, with only 1,000 units made, and we're still all 1,000 gone, hence 3 stars. Oh yeah, and everyone is hand-painted, so there actually won't be any that are exactly the same.
Bluetooth connected.
The color of the lighting here is spot on. Plus, you actually get a little cloth hood in the box to make your speaker look like an adorable little desktop assassin. Oh, one leg in there. Tell you what, this is how you get grown men into dolls. Struggling to get the third leg in. And then the hood go. That's just going to cover up the volume control and then all the buttons. Why would they do that? The sacrifices one has to make for aura. Welcome to Aesthetics Creed. Right, let's have a listen. I'd say it sounds fine. I do like how the lighting syncs with the music automatically, you don't need to do anything. Why does it look like it's farting out the back of its hood? The aura is declining. So this doesn't feel like the most well thought out limited edition ever, but it is really cool. B tier. But what if, instead of being based on the game, your limited edition tech was instead based on the console itself? This is the $400 MetaQuest 3S Xbox edition, a celebration of how you can now play Xbox on your face. And it's actually quite a tantalizing proposition. Because it's streaming from the cloud, it lets you play games as if you had an Xbox, but without needing to buy one or actually be physically connected to anything. So the headset is limited edition. It's normally white, but it's now black with some subtle green accents. A little too subtle if I say so myself. The touch controllers are limited edition. That little splash of Xbox green under the joysticks is actually quite sick. And then you also get an Xbox controller that's limited edition too. This is the coolest one. But then at the same time, this is an Xbox limited edition version of an Xbox controller. Isn't that just like if Coke came up with a limited edition Coke flavor that was actually Coke flavored? Wow. This is significantly better than I thought it was going to be. I've got a bunch of things going on right now. There's a screen recording happening. This game is streaming from the internet in real time, and the game is still running at a very serviceable frame rate. It's really, really playable. It doesn't feel like there's any more latency here than when I'm actually playing on my real Xbox. Although, when was the last time I did that? And this might look a little fuzzy to you because of the screen recording, but to me, this feels like I'm playing on an Xbox Series S on a 100-inch display, and it's pretty phenomenal, to be honest. Cloud gaming has come a long way in the last 5 years. I actually completely forgot we were making a video. That was a sick experience. Unfortunately, what we're rating here is not how good the product is, but instead how good of a limited edition these are. And really, this doesn't do anything that the normal Quest 3S doesn't do. It's just color. So I can't give it more than a C. Time for our first phone of the video now, and let's just say it's about the least expected collab I have ever seen. So there's a guy called Manish Malhotra. He's basically the top Indian fashion designer in the world. So a couple of years ago when I was tracking down the perfect Indian outfit for my wedding, he was all people were talking about. So eventually I found the outfits, I had the wedding, and I kind of assumed that would be the last I'd hear of the guy. Till Oppo decided to partner with him to make a smartphone. Yay. Well, the good news is it is fashionable. They say they used high-precision heat treatment to achieve the rich contrast you can see here between the gold and the black to celebrate India's vibrant culture. Yeah, vibrant is definitely the word. And the phone in general does have a really fancy quality to it. It's so thin, it's got these thick metal rails, and it's a screen that curves in all 4 directions. I am not opposed to this hardware, but the software has not managed to impress me. There's a single custom wallpaper, and that is it. C tier, again, especially considering the bare bones unboxing experience. I've slightly lost track of just how many Harry Potter edition phones I've unboxed over the years, but this one from Oppo, which has been the hardest to get so far, might also just be the greatest fan service. Letter from Hogwarts, and then the phone, and a physical wand. Oh, I like this. The cable is custom. It's color matched to the packaging by the looks of it. Same with the charger. The case, though, is extremely boring, just clear with a bit of texture. But then there's a golden snitch, which I guess fittingly I cannot seem to get hold of. Oh, there we go. This is weighty. And then the phone. I say the hardware's pretty mid. I don't love it, I don't hate it. Interesting that they've got a line running all the way down the middle. Then, what the hell is this? So you turn it on, and every time you turn it on there's a different wallpaper, nothing to do with Harry Potter, and ads. Does anyone speak a little bit of Spanish?
Find your getaway deals and scroll out packages. Escape to a getaway.
Escape to a getaway. God, that is diabolical. Maybe it's just part of the theming. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Right, so when you go into the settings, you can change to a bunch of different Hogwarts themed wallpapers. It just doesn't start with them for some reason. So let's apply this Slytherin curtain to our lock screen. And then this one as if the curtain's been pulled open to our home screen. What? Doesn't let you apply it. This ridiculous photo carousel is pinned to your lock screen. This money-making AI is spreading fast in the UK. These are just all ads. I am shocked. Charging animation is pretty cool, but it lags every single time it activates. This is feeling very sloppy to me. Don't even get me started on this case. I mean, seriously, who came up with this? It just completely covers the limited design flair that was already there, and the whole thing just looks consistently dirty. There is one potentially redeeming factor. Accio. Maybe that's just the state of the phone. This wand apparently actually works. So it's a stylus, just not a very good one. I can try and draw with a troll's thumb, and it's so top heavy. But you can also use it for spells. So they've got a bunch of pre-configured shortcuts that you can activate by drawing various shapes on your locked phone using your wand. Ooh, they do work. I am far less impressed by this phone than I thought I would be. Expelliarmus. Now, I like Harry Potter. Everyone likes Harry Potter. But let me tell you, nothing I have ever seen on television has made me feel the way that Game of Thrones did. And so I am slightly shaking holding the only limited edition Game of Thrones phone ever to be made by Realme, just as almost impossible to buy as the Harry Potter. So inside is... This is so unique. And then over here, we've got separate pop-outs of two of the different houses from the show. So if we go into House Targaryen, we got an insert with a couple of sticker sheets and little postcards. Delightful collectibles. I'd just be very curious what kind of person actually uses this type of stuff though. And then the phone. Okay, other side, some sort of scroll. And it's blank. Sudden, severe flashbacks to Kung Fu Panda right now.
It's blank.
Place the letter under sunlight. See, this assumes you have an outdoor life. I think I'll just grab my UV torch. And, ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. This is so cool. There's a USB-C cable and a charger. Nothing too interesting going on there. I love cases like this that really feel customized specifically for the limited edition. And then, oh my gosh, that is a SIM ejector and a half. This is the symbol that the hand of the king would wear, the king's closest advisor. Gosh, the phone itself has got a lot to live up to. I am obsessed. I feel like this evokes Game of Thrones a lot more than just slapping a logo on the back and calling it a day. Like, you can feel the dragon's claws. And the fact that this is leather makes you think it's like the hide of the dragon. Oh my god, they've even got "Winter is coming" in tiny little letters around the camera rings, alongside all these little etchings. Then, one of the key turning point moments in the entire show happens when Daenerys survives a fire and in the process hatches her little dragon babies. And this phone lets you relive that scene. So if you place it into hot water, look at that, instantly, it turns red. That is just so unbelievably cool. And like thematically fitting. But then also, do you know how some companies just chuck one custom wallpaper onto the home screen and call it a day? This thing has 2 entire themes, ice and fire, because the show Game of Thrones is based on a book series called A Song of Ice and Fire. So this is the fire theme. It's a proper animated lock screen. The fingerprint animation spreads fire. And it's very impressive because every single icon on the home screen is themed, and not in a simple color swap kind of way. They're all clearly made specifically for this. Okay, so can we swap it up to ice theme now? The ice changes the fingerprint scanner logo from Targaryen, which is fire and dragons, to Stark, which is all about the cold, and it has its own accompanying snow animation and icons. I was getting very sad during the filming of this video, but we might have just very suddenly peaked. They've got specific Game of Thrones camera filters, Kingdom and Northland. That's actually so cool because when you watch the show, they specifically apply really warm and really cool filters to communicate which part of the land that scene is in. And then you click AI Edit Genie, back to the world of power. Oh my god! Stop showing off, Realme. I mean, okay, I'm not in love with the fact that it's clearly picked peasant class for me. I'm just so impressed with this limited edition. You've done it, guys. You've done it. This is what an S tier looks like. The only question now is, can I still be tempted by the dark side? Okay, so... Oh. Maybe I used too much force.
Force is strong in my family.
I have altered the packaging. Pray I do not alter it further. Tell you what though, this is serious attention to detail. So this is the Death Star on the outside. Then we got Luke and Darth Vader dueling. Love the texture embossed into the whole thing. Oh my goodness, look at this. They've designed this package to look like the interior of the Death Star. I feel like I've died and gone to nerd heaven. So phone is in the middle, we'll get to that. Even the little lifting tabs have the Empire symbol on them. Which side do I pick? Let's go right. So this has the quick guide. Pretty cool Darth Vader SIM ejector tool, which turns out is actually retractable for some reason. Then a case. A completely clear case, which is the only letdown so far. A themed cable and a themed charger. I'm slightly puzzled what's on this left side then. Oh, it keeps going. Still going. How deep is this thing? That's no moon. It's a phone stand with a Death Star on it. Let's get to business. I mean, I like the bit of red Lucasfilm text and the red custom button, but this is basically just a JPEG of Vader's mask on the back. You know, I just love it when these limited edition phones really put the effort in to make sure you have the perfect shot of harissa broad beans on toast as your lock screen. Maybe it was Vader's favorite.
You have failed me.
It's another one of these wallpaper carousels, but it's even worse. They look like AI-generated scenes that have absolutely no bearing on anything. Like, they're not even designed to look nice. And then you unlock the phone, and it's got a custom Vader dueling Luke wallpaper on it. But they've covered the whole thing in icons, so you can't even see the thing. I don't get how you can pay this much attention to such fine details in the packaging, but then you ship the phone like this. It's so frustrating. I've heard the charging animation is at least cool. Whoa, okay. It's very, very cool. Sitting on top of these ridiculous lock screen wallpapers. Also with the default charging sound. It's just, it's so half-assed. I do like that it ships with a phone stand. I just feel like, as a thing to include with a limited edition phone, that makes a lot more sense than like keyring. But I find the lack of nice materials here disturbing. Made in a galaxy far, far in China. I just think people who base their phone buying decisions on a limited edition, they are super fans. They are happy to pay more, but they don't want junk unless they're Jawas. I was just about to smack this right into the middle of C tier, but I have seen one very cool thing about it. So not only is the Vader mask not a flat image, it actually reflects light in quite a convincing three-dimensional way, but also depending on the angle you light it from, it'll either glow red behind it to symbolize presumably the dark side, or blue to symbolize the light inside of him. So I think that's cool enough for it to scrape a B tier. Well, hey, at least it's super rare though. The only webpage I could find this on seems to be alone anymore, thanks to a suspiciously similar looking title that's cropped up called Wuthering Waves. And this is the first limited edition I have ever seen based on it, specifically tied to the character Camellia, who's something called a bloom bearer, hence all the flower symbols. So, we actually got a keyring. Yay! Then the phone. And nothing too wild underneath that. There's a card. The cable is coloured and the charger has the flower logo on it. Oh, the case is different. Actually feels really soft and premium, but it's a bit odd that this is basically going to cover the entire rear design of the phone. It's like a 3D display box. Yeah, it's not for me. But hey, at least it's something unique. So I'm imagining the inspo for this collab is Wuthering Waves is an incredibly intensive, beautiful game that is also so hard to run on mobile that people's hands have been burning just trying to. So let's make a limited edition phone that can, because it specifically has a dedicated cooling fan. I'm gonna level with you though. Who I really think this is for is people who like to spend a long time looking at cartoon girls. There's cartoon girls on the back, you got a lot of them on the front, and they are even the personal assistant of the phone. This feels so weird. Someone has programmed her to react to you prodding her in various places. There's a massive thing in Asian countries about people having virtual girlfriends, and this definitely feels like it's playing into that. So strange. Oh, she actually completely follows your fingers. She looks wherever your finger is touching. She's on my home screen. How did that happen? Wait, so I've now got cartoon girls on top of cartoon girls. Didn't sound great, I'd rather. Oh my god. She's on my desk. These guys are obsessed. I think it's too far. And like, the physics, the animations rotate her, and you can change everything about the way she's standing, the angle, the size. Oh, it's getting really weird.
The whole like outfit selection stuff. I think I've been told.
It's someone's dream. I would say, depending on your preferences, this could be as high as S. I'm gonna go B. But enough nerd stuff. It's time to go jock mode. Kind of. With the Realme Aston Martin F1 phone. Nothing too creative going on with the outer box, but let's see if that changes inside. Wow. That's clever. You see the round camera module of the phone acting as the wheel of the F1 car, and this is, I believe, the only phone in the world for which you can actually swap out the camera module from circle to square. Don't ask me why. What's in here? 2 cases? Oh my god. Oh, it's one for each shape of camera that you've picked. Well, that is a brilliant example of why companies don't do this interchangeable camera thing. Thank you, Realme. This is cooler. This is the SIM ejector, which races to the finish line as you pull it out. Okay, phone time. It might be the most actually looks like a sports car phone I've ever used. So this is what it looks like with the circular camera and the circular case. And now, quick pit stop. This is what it looks like with the square camera and the square case. It wasn't worth it, was it? I think in its current state, this is a very silly feature that no one is going to use. But I don't think the concept is a write-off. Like if they swapped out the screws for some sort of clever interlocking magnets and then made these camera cutouts in a couple of different fun color options, it could be a fun way to change up the look of your phone. The same way, you change your wallpaper every now and again. Just because I'm curious, here's one we 3D printed earlier. It's meant to be Jigglypuff. Can you tell? If anyone at Aston Martin is watching this video, I'm sorry. Oh, that's a really cool lock screen. Very polished, very smooth. And then the home screen is still in the same color scheme, but plainer, which I have no problem with. I'd say overall it looks a bit more sophisticated than some of the other ones we've covered. It's a very interesting thing going on with the icons, where it seems like each one is a slightly different shade of green, gray, or carbon fiber texture, and yet altogether it works. I would say top to toe, all around, through and through. Take Jigglypuff off a second. This is slick. I'm siding with an A tier for this. I would totally use this phone. Let's stick you back on. Now, while we're on the subject of motor-related phones, I'm very curious to see what Motorola has cooked up with their Swarovski Brilliant collection. Gotta say, I was expecting a little more bedazzling on the packaging, considering what this includes. So that is a case. Doesn't look like this has any Swarovski in it. Feels pretty plasticky. The phone, this is actually a lot more tasteful than I was expecting. Wow, those are different. These are called the Buds Loop. And then underneath all that is a carrying strap, which I believe attaches to the case, and then just basic accessories. The weirdest thing, though, is this box also apparently has a signature packing fragrance. Oh my god. Nicest smelling box of my life. This smells like a really fancy home fragrance. It's not the same. Ink and paper and factories. Wow, they've actually turned the icons into jewels. I can safely say I have never seen that before. Two things feel very clear to me right now. One, that this phone is not for me. Two, this is also a very well thought out limited edition for the people who it is for. Like, I just found out that both the phone and the earbuds are made in the exact same Pantone ice melt color, which feels like exactly the kind of thing that someone buying a Swarovski branded phone is going to care about. And the phone itself is glitzy. There are 35 Swarovski crystals embedded in the thing, with the biggest one actually being on the hinge. And I just think it all ties together really well. Like, the buttons here are inspired by crystals. This quilted finish reminds me of a designer handbag. And just like that, actually has a tiny bit of give as you push it in. And you can also wear the thing like a handbag, which makes the design choices actually make a lot more sense. Would I clean up in London like this?
Take all the baddies.
Yeah. It's really nice, this. Genuinely looks like a watch face you might see on a very expensive watch. And the earbuds almost do feel actually just like a piece of fancy jewelry in themselves. Ooh. Why are you laughing? There's something funny about this. It's weird in that there's nothing particularly supporting them, but they're just so light that it doesn't really matter. Would not want to run around in these though. As fabulous as these look, you are sacrificing quite a bit in the sound department. Plus, there's a lot of bleed. Like, everyone can hear the music that's playing. Your playlist is not private, put it that way.
Brings out your eye colour.
It brings out my eye colour. Well, thank you. Gosh. But as far as how good of a limited edition I think this is, even though to this day it bemuses me how Swarovski gets away with selling what's effectively just glass, I would go high A tier. But now we're jumping up to the very latest of these products now, with the Razer Boomslang 20th Anniversary Edition Gaming Mouse. Package goes hard, I love it. The crazy part is this thing's already super rare at a minimum, with only 1,337 ever being up for grabs. However, as of the time of filming this video, the total number available is not 1337, it is 1. We have the only sample in the world, making this pretty indisputably 5-star rarity. It's just so unbelievably extra. It comes with this absolutely incredible disassembled model of the mouse, which itself plugs into the mains to give you LED lighting. And it's Razer green. It's so sick. This feels like something you shouldn't touch. Now, the really cool thing about this Boomslang is it's actually a remake of world's first ever gaming mouse, the original Boomslang from 1999, which comes in a way less nice metal tin. That actually goes to show just how much even packaging has improved. Oh gosh. You know what this is? This is like original Xbox green. It's a very gaming thing, actually, to remaster old things. You just rarely see it with a physical product like this. It's so cool, though, because the swampy Shrek green has become this really high contrast, vibrant green. All the contours are just ever so slightly deeper, so your hand rests more purposefully into it. The rubbery plastic all around has been replaced with leather. And obviously it's wireless. And of course it has RGB LED lighting. What's also cool is one of the biggest selling points of the original was its 2000 DPI sensitivity, achieved thanks to this mechanical ball that physically rolls around on the surface to figure out where the mouse is. And that has now become 45,000 DPI, thanks to a new gen optical sensor in here. Oh yeah, and it has wireless charging with magnets. I would totally use this if I wasn't going for minimalist Japanese Zen vibe on my desk. I think that's got to be our second S tier. I'm scared of how this video is going, but if this isn't a happy ending, I don't know what is.